Hi guys, this is Ashling and this is my grammar presentation on the gerundive of obligation. So, the gerundive of obligation fundamentally is a statement of necessity. It is a grammar device used in Latin to express the indirect object's obligation or need to do something. And the gerundive is expressed as though a future passive participle, where something must be done by someone or something else, like someone must be heard by someone or something must be seen by someone. And first and foremost, the gerundive is a verbal adjective, meaning it implies an action, but it doesn't describe that action as an adverb would. It's very different from an adverb. Like an adverb would be like the girl is quickly running to the park, whereas a verbal adjective would say there must be a running by the girl to the park. So, like all adjectives, gerundives have case, number, and gender, and their case, number, and gender have to agree with the case, number, and gender of the noun that they modify, because all adjectives modify nouns. So let's take a look at this sentence here. The letter must be read by the girl. Epistula puellae legenda est. So, first, I'm going to tell you right now that the word legenda is the gerundive form of the verb to read, lego, legere. And it literally means something must be read by something. So, what must be read by the girl? The letter must be read by the girl. If you look at the English, the letter must be read by the girl. So epistula is the noun that is being modified by the gerundive in this sentence. So epistula and legenda have to agree with each other in case, number, and gender, which they do. Fantastic. They're both feminine, nominative, and singular. Almost always, the gerundive of obligation is paired with a dative of agent noun, which would be your indirect object and the form of the verb to be, sum es est, sumus estis sunt. You can see the est at the end of the Latin sentence there. But your dative of agent in this sentence is puellae, because if you look at that sentence, the letter must be read by the girl. You could look at that another way. You could say the girl must read the letter, or the girl is obligated to read the letter, and if she's obligated to do something, she being the girl, then she would have to be the indirect object. Makes sense. So, and then you have your verb to be, and your verb for to be always has to match the person and number of the noun that's being modified, which we said was epistula. So epistula is third person singular, so is est. Yeah, great. So to put a verb in the gerundive form, you take your infinitive, your second principal part. So let's say to love, amo, amare, amawi, amatos. You take amare, you drop your re and you add nd, so amare becomes amand. You add nd to the end. Then you add either us, or based on the gender of your modified noun. So let's just say we had the sentence, the boy must be loved by the mother. So who must be loved? The boy must be loved. So you would need your masculine form of the gerundive because the boy would be the noun that is modified there. And same, if you said the girl must be loved by the mother, you would need the feminine gerundive form. And if you said the rock must be loved by, I don't know, the mother, rock is neuter, right? You would say, you would have to use amandum because you need your neuter gerundive in there somewhere. Yeah, no? And finally, you would decline your adjective because it has to have a case and number. So you if you have a masculine gerundive, like, and it ends in us, you would take your second declension adjective. You would decline it as though it were a second declension adjective. If you took the feminine form of the gerundive and your ending is a, you decline it as though it were a first declension adjective. You took the neuter form of the gerundive and your ending is decline it as though it were a second declension neuter adjective. So that's very important. That's where it gets really important in distinguishing the differences between the neuter endings and the regular second declension endings. So, also, one thing to bring up is that the fourth conjugation is a little weird because when you're going from audire to the gerundive, it's audire, you drop your re, you've got audi. Instead of just adding nd right away, you've got to put an e in there, audie, and then you add your nd. So it's audiend, and then audiendus, audienda, audiendum, because the fourth conjugation does that. If you think about the imperfect form of audire, which is audie bom, audie bos, audie bot, you have to put that e in there. So it's just, you've got a deal. But that's just the fourth conjugation, and it's all good under the hood. You just got to remember that that is the conjugation to look out for when you're looking for the gerundive. So let's take a look at this sentence. Justinus tibi amandus est. So let's first find our gerundive. And the indicator of the gerundive is that nd, always going to be an nd, and that is the key indicator of the gerundive. So then you look at the root, which is everything before nd, ama, turn that into amare, to love. So something must be loved by something here. Let's circle that. There's your gerundive. That's such a fun word. And then the next step would be to identify the noun that amandus is modifying. And amandus is masculine, it's singular, and it is nominative. So the only thing that agrees with that here is Justinus, masculine, singular, nominative, and that is also your subject because it's nominative. And now you've got your verb for to be in there, est, which agrees with Justinus because it's third person singular. It's like Justinus, and tibi is your dative of agent in there because it is the indirect object. It is the, it is the dative form of the pronoun you, tu, tui, tibi, tete. I love doing that as well. And then this sentence would be translated, if we put it all together, like there must be a loving of someone. Justin must be loved by you. That's how we would say it. Like there must be, you must be heard, you must be seen, you must be loved, because amandus is the root here. Someone must be loved by someone. So Justin, because he's our subject, must be loved by you. Or you could say you must love Justin. Either way, you've got to give Justin some love. So just, yeah, go for it. Ego, I'm being so weird right now. Ego eis videnda sum. Let us break this down. So first you've got to find the gerundive, which I've actually underlined for you. Stupid, Aisling. So you see your nd in there, videnda. So that's how we know it's our gerundive. That's our indicator. So get the root, which is videre, to see. So something must be seen by someone. So you've got ego there, which is your nominative first person singular pronoun. And that's why you have sum there, because that is also first person singular. That's your verb for to be. So I must be seen by someone. And eis is your dative plural form. Is ea id charts that I completely forget. Eis is your dative plural there. So that's why we need eis there, and that would actually translate into them. So this sentence is going to translate into I must be seen by them, like I must be seen by them, or they must see me. But literally from the Latin, it's going to be I must be seen. Like you have to, if you're going to translate directly from the Latin, you have to maintain the future passive participle form. So now we have mihi calidus potus amendus est. Woo! I can't. Okay, so we have amendus in our gerundive form here. You see that nd. Break it down. You've got ame, amere, and emo, amere, amiwi. I believe amiwi is the perfect. Would be to buy something. So something must be bought by someone here. So you've got calidus potus, which is a hot drink. Ooh, I just made it disappear. What the? Oh, there we go. So you've got your hot drink there. Must be bought. A hot drink must be bought, because calidus potus is in your nominative form there. It's the subject. And then you've got mihi there, which is your dative form of first person singular, right? Yeah, mihi. So a hot drink must be bought by me, literally, and est is third singular because a hot drink is third person singular. And where's our hot drink? Yeah, there we go. It's like, what happened? Magistra? Yeah. Discipuli audienda est. I was like, I knew there was more to that sentence. So audienda would be our gerundive there, clearly. Everything before the end is audie. So there's like that e there. So we know that this is a fourth conjugation root. Audere, to hear. And audienda is feminine, it's singular, it's nominative, and the only noun in that sentence that agrees with it is magistra, which is the word for teacher. So now we know that the teacher must be heard by someone, and discipuli is that dative singular form of the word student. So the sentence translates as the teacher must be heard by the student. There we have little Einstein. I worked hard on that animation. You appreciate it and you love it. If not for me, for Justin, you know? Caesar Bruto interficiendus est. So, Rex mihi parendum est, ego tibi audiuanda sum, Iger senex nobis curandus est. So just choose one of those and look at it for a minute and see if you can translate it. Time's up! Oh my god, I'm so over the time limit right now. And there we go. Sources cited, and thank you very much, and you have a wonderful day.